Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I mentioned when we started, I had been having a hard time trying to get some answers. I guess you're sensing perhaps some frustration on our committee, and to try to give an overarching kind of sense of what's going on is we feel like we're being given the mushroom treatment over here. We're not included, there's not transparency, there's not visibility as to what the decisions are. We talked about QDR this morning, and as I said earlier, we live in the political world. We play with budgets and we make decisions about how much the Department of Defense gets in their spending. And if you're not getting enough money, we need to know about it. If we're going to give you this much money, you say, okay, with this much money, here's what we can do to give you the least amount of risk. Then you got to tell us, yeah, but we've left these gaps in here that are a problem, and it's our job to go back and get more money for DOD, but we can't do that if we don't know what's going on. And the transparency has been non-existent. It's like as transparent as a concrete wall. Now here's one that I've asked this question about 2.5 years in a row now. I just keep trying it because I think maybe somebody can answer. It's not on JSF, but it's related tightly. First of all, what's the status of the DoD cost analysis on F-18 multi-year procurement? And will the department meet the May 1st contract award deadline? That should be a yes or no.
We are going to meet the May 1st deadline if we possibly can. The only reason I add as we possibly can, sir, is that that's not entirely under our control. It's a matter of the interaction with the contractor. It's an important discussion that we're having. We had some indication from the contractor of a willingness to make an offer that we would be interested in, and we're trying to wrap that up just as soon as we can because we understand the deadline. If I may, comment on the mushroom issue, and to the Congressman from New Jersey as well. I kind of felt the same way in November. That is that we were seeing in the jet estimate a picture of the Joint Strike Fighter program so different from the one that had been portrayed by the Joint Program Office, the contractor, and that is the reason that the Secretary took the action he did. So I can very much relate to your anger about it.
The concern we had, sir, was that it wasn't just in one issue. It wasn't just Joint Strike Fighter. It's been across the board in a whole series of different areas. So it's not like it's that one program. We know that there's certain problems with certain programs, understand that, but this has been a broader sense. The quadrennial defense review is not just specifically that one plane. It's a whole series, and how do you come to the decision of how many ships, how many this, how are you balancing that? And that process is what I'm talking about is being opaque. It's not just this one program, which also is that way. So you're saying you're going to try to meet that deadline the best, depending on negotiations with the contractor. Now here's
absolutely
next question. There is a memo we got from the Navy says the shortfall is actually 177, but they think they can reduce it to 100 by several mitigation options, and then it says all options are in the table to manage. So I asked a simple question before. Is one of the options, if we don't have enough F-18s, it's the only thing we're flying off of aircraft carriers, is one of the options to buy some more of them? I mean, it seems like you got three options. One, you take old ones, fix them up. Two, you just get by with what you've got, don't have as many airplanes on an aircraft carrier. Or three, you buy some new ones. That seems to me to be common sense. Now, I asked that specific question, and I asked it 3 times and never got an answer. Are all options in the table? Does that mean buying more F-18s is an option, or is it not an option?
We are buying more F-18s.
I mean beyond what's currently on record, the program of record, because the program of record, this shortfall is after we buy the ones on record. It's still a shortfall.
That's correct. Well, I want to be very clear, and then, of course, Mr. Stackley will be addressing this also. The options that we're looking at now and that we would then fund in FY12 and beyond are ones designed to prolong the life of the existing fleet of F-18s until they can be replaced by Joint Strike Fighters.
You saying you're talking about rebuilding old planes?
It's extending the life, the operational life of the F-18s.
But you're not considering buying some new ones instead of that?
No, the options that are being considered that I think were specifically referenced in the quote that you're discussing are options for extending the service life of the F-35s. Ms. Fox, I mean,
of the
F-18s. Ms. Fox will be conducting that analysis in the course of the year, and I really ought to allow her to answer.
Okay, well, I'm about out of time, so I guess my concern is we've taken a look at the cost for flight hour doing that, and boy, is that an expensive alternative. And I guess the question I have is, why wouldn't you consider the alternative of buying a new one if it comes out to be a whole lot financially more desirable? But I've never had anybody say, well, we'd consider that. I mean, it's obviously logically something you could consider.
Absolutely.
Either fix up the old one, you go without, or you buy a new one. But why not consider buy the new one? Because to fix up the old one is half the cost of the new one, and you get whatever it is, 6,000 more hours on the sucker. So I don't understand that.